The fall of man in the beginning, the world was new, untouched, and filled with harmony. Every river flowed with purity, every tree grew without flaw, and every creature lived in perfect balance. At the center of this masterpiece, God formed a Garden Eden place of breathtaking beauty. Its flowers never wilted, its fruits never spoiled, and peace covered it like a warm morning light. Into this paradise, God placed the first man, Adam, created from the dust, yet carrying the breath of God himself. Adam opened his eyes to a world where nothing was broken, nothing was painful, and nothing was out of place. Everything he saw reflected the goodness of the one who made him. But Adam wasn't meant to live alone, so God formed Eve, created from Adam's side. She was his companion equal, cherished, and sharing the same divine breath of life. Together they walked among trees heavy with fruit, heard the birds sing melodies no ear today has heard, and felt a closeness to God that humans would later long for. Each day had rhythm. In the fresh cool of the morning, Adam and Eve cared for the garden, naming animals, tending plants, learning creation's order. And in the evening, God walked with them. His voice was familiar, comforting, unmistakably near. There was only one rule, simple yet significant. You may eat from every tree in the garden, except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If you eat from it, you will surely die. Eden held countless delights. The forbidden tree was not the only source of fruit, nor was it the most beautiful. But it stood as a reminder of trust God's authority, his wisdom, his boundaries given out of love. Yet, hidden in the garden was another voice, quiet, sly, and reeking of rebellion. The serpent, more cunning than any creature, carried the bitterness of one who had once known glory, but had chosen pride instead. He watched Adam and Eve. He studied their innocence. And he planned it. One day, when Eve walked near the forbidden tree, the serpent approached. His voice was smooth, almost friendly. Did God really tell you not to eat from any tree in the garden? Eve answered honestly, we may eat from the trees. But God said not to eat from the one at the center, and not even to touch it, or we will die. The serpent's eyes glinted. You will not die, he whispered. God knows that when you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like him, knowing good and evil. His words planted doubt, small, subtle, dangerous. Eve looked again at the fruit. It was pleasing, bright, inviting. She reached for it, hesitated, then took it. Nothing seemed to happen. She tasted it. The sweetness felt harmless, even thrilling. She gave some to Adam, who stood beside her. He knew what God had commanded, but he chose to follow Eve instead of obeying God. He ate that moment. Everything changed. The atmosphere of Eden shifted. Innocence collapsed. A sharp awareness pierced their minds, shame, fear, guilt. Frantic, they sewed fig leaves together, trying to cover themselves, trying to hide what they had never seen as wrong before. Then they heard footsteps, God, walking in the garden. But instead of running toward him like every other day, they hid among the trees. The sound of his voice no longer brought comfort, but dread. "Adam, where are you?" Adam stepped out slowly, so I hid. "Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam shifted the blame. "The woman you gave me, she gave me the fruit." Eve followed the pattern. "The serpent deceived me." Then came judgment, just, heavy and irreversible. To the serpent God declared, "You will crawl on your belly and eat dust. There will be enmity between your seed and the woman's. Her offspring will crush your head, and you will strike his heel." A prophecy of conflict, but also of redemption. To Eve, he said, "Your pain in childbirth will increase, and your longing and struggles with your husband will be marked by brokenness." To Adam, "The ground is cursed because of you." Work will become sweat, frustration, thorns, and struggle. And from dust you came, to dust you will return. Yet, even in judgment, God showed mercy. He made garments of animal skins coverings that required the first death in creation's history. It was a sign. Sin demanded a cost. Finally, he sent them out of Eden, out of the perfect home they had lost. An angel with a flaming sword guarded the entrance, ensuring no return. They walked into a world colder, harsher, and uncertain. Life would now carry grief and toil, but God had not abandoned them. Even in their fall, his plan was already moving toward restoration. Humanity lost Eden that day, but God began the long story of redeeming what had been broken. The fall wasn't the end, it was the beginning of the world's need for salvation.